Good evening, folks. Red County Blue Nation, Westcliff, Colorado. Great states of Americans. Stephen Rourke, Mike Boring, James McMahon. Jimmy, how's it going, buddy?
We're doing good. We got a little rain today. That was kind of a plus. Looks like we're getting a little bit more. When I was coming into town, it was raining some more.
Yeah, the old man said he could see a lot of lightning out south last night.
Oh, it was all over the place.
But you didn't get no rain?
Sprinkles, like way down south on the mountain. It was just lightning up
Like
the
maybe
top of the
Mike?
mountain.
Maybe Mike got some, or did he get in here?
Yeah, Mike got a bunch today in the wets. But on the west side, looking at it last night, it was just bouncing along the top of the mountains. A lot of lightning, huge, great big black cloud. So there was somebody getting a little something, but it wasn't reaching us. It didn't quite go that far east.
Yeah, that's... Luckily, it's kind of wet us up a little bit, but that's the bad part about these dry thunderstorms. But boy, that you ain't getting soaked up, it will light your ass up.
Yeah. Jack and Jean said they got an inch. Rain mixed with hail.
Today?
Yeah, just today. Yeah, I guess she set some flowers out in it.
Smoked them.
Smoked them.
Hate when that
RD.
happens. Hate when that happens. Well, she got an inch, and I probably got, hopefully I got at least a half inch on the pasture.
Yeah.
Because that's only about a half mile from them.
Yeah, it
That'd
looked
be-
like it was coming down fairly decent.
That'd be good, because I don't know how we're supposed to hold out. But yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, it rained pretty good in town here for a little bit, filled the puddles up, but of course I was inside, so.
Yeah, it rained at our house for a little bit. It came down pretty good for a minute and then kind of just drizzled. Got the cows wet. But it just changed the color of the dirt. I mean, it didn't go in maybe, a quarter of an inch. Just enough to get the weed seeds germinated.
There you go. Keep them weeds pumping.
Yep. We did get the potatoes in the ground. So that was a plus.
Well, guy don't get no more moisture, you're gonna have to get some irrigation going
Oh,
on.
the drip irrigation's got to happen. Maximum. We want to try to get, pretty good return on this. So. I mean, if Mother Nature gives us proper rain and proper time, it'd be great. But what's that?
Shit, you might as well go buy a lottery ticket.
You may as well get a couple of them. Absolutely. But yeah, no, the grass is coming on pretty good with that sunshine and whatnot.
Right across the alley there. Of course, it's getting water off the
roof.
I mean, it's like
I
that.
mean, it's good to go.
Hell, pull the cutter in on it.
Yeah, get to whacking on it. Yeah, no, it's all good.
So, yeah, I'm so distraught, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna kill the guy that, guess I shouldn't say that
Oh,
on
watch
public
it
TV, but
AJ,
Jesus, man, this transmission thing is,
that thing's only been in there for a minute.
yeah, and then I don't know what happened. It put it all together and it was still pouring oil out of it. I don't know. So I got it all back apart. Yep, folks, prepare. All I can say is you better buckle your bootstraps, because I bought a 12-pack of automatic transmission fluid last week. $5 a quart. Went in there today to get another 12-pack. Cost me $15 a quart.
Tripled on you.
$180, $60 a gallon. Tripled up
Tripled.
in 4 or 5 days from Napa. And the parts guy said, yep, Napa changed their whole policy. There'll never be another sale on oil, and everything's tripled. And I'm going, what in the fuck? Oh, why don't you go ahead and screw us over a little bit more? I mean, I hate to put the pressure on Trump, but old Mr. Negotiator don't seem to be able to negotiate his way out of a wet paper bag, as far as I'm concerned at this point. Hell, every ceasefire, they don't want nuclear weapons, man. You guys do ain't nothing but a train car load of lies. Lying and lying and lying and lying some more. Boy, And I mean, I'm not trying to just blame it on Trump, but I mean, his big ass mouth flapping, japping jaws are flapping and japping and jawing. I hate to say it, man, but I've been saying it. I've been losing confidence in him for a while, and now it's. I mean, after I just went and bought that oil, it's like
Well, that's like a slap in the face, ain't it?
pretty much.
Yeah, I spent $84 on 5 gallons of that. Trans hydraulic stuff for the tractor. It was $84. I'm afraid to go in there now.
Yeah,
Probably
it is.
300.
Yeah, that's what it's. That's what I.
Boy, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be expensive harvest season for the farmers. I guess they're still planting too. I mean, there's plenty of stuff getting planted right now too. That's gonna put a hurting on them. I mean, high fuel was one thing, and now you got super high hydraulic and.
Well, guys got to know that, and I mean, it's such a political game. I mean, it's not. There's nothing about it that's real, except for that they're boring you up here. You know what? They're ream jobbing you to the bitter end is all that matters. Hope you'll all like it, right? That's what happens when we get complacent and we let all this evilness get into the place where they're in between what we need to be in between of. And
Yeah, people that represent the people, not the political politicians that are feeding the war machine. And I would say it, but I won't.
yeah,
The money people. Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher on everybody. I mean, Canada's really getting there. It's a whole other story.
well, they got just what they deserve. Go ahead and turn a little more liberal and see what happens to you. Oh, it'll be fine. We can feed the world. We'll give everybody everything we have. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't.
Well, it's just something to be aware of. I mean, you got to tighten up your pennies.
Well, at some point, it's like, how do you tighten it up?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be a point where it just isn't, it's futile. The word profit, your input costs get so high, you end up just paying everything out instead of keeping a little something for yourself at the end of the service or the product.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know. But yeah, definitely need to be aware of it.
I'd like to think that everything's going to work itself out, but.
Well, one way or the other, it does.
Well, yeah, I mean, the worst can happen is death, so.
I hope that's
Or complete and utter separation, I mean. I'm sure there is worse than death, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's
yeah,
what we try to avoid, but I mean, that's like.
yeah, there you go.
Well, sounds like we got smoked at the state GOP.
Joe Altman didn't make it.
Some more funny shit, folks. How can the guy that gets voted for, nobody even claps for him at the end? I mean, that's just.
Yeah, we got a pretty good report on what took place there. It's just more funny stuff. I mean, I don't know the word funny, but it's pretty.
Well,
grievous.
supposedly this guy that dropped out, whatever his name was, McCullen or something, he said, "Well, everybody that voted for me, vote for this Craig." I don't even know what the hell his name is. Don't have no experience.
Joe Altman, I thought was hands down the best way to go, but got a lot of rhinos sitting in them chairs. A lot of complacent politicians that are just compromisers, not principled. Go along, get along. And that's kind of what we're combating is we need to be able to make a stand for for what's good and right for the people. Well, I'm trying to think of that guy's name. See his face. Oh. Yeah, we had several people go from Westcliff. It was kind of an interesting deal that took place there.
Curtis McCracken.
Now, he was the guy that gave the other guy his votes.
Yeah, behind Craig Steiner.
Steiner's the one that's the leader. He's the one that got voted in, right? Steiner?
How about this? Is best known within the party for designing software applications that the Colorado GOP uses for voter turnout and delegate management.
Is that Steiner? I know he's involved in some of that computer stuff. But he seemed like he had a really good plan, and he pretty much wrote it down and shared it with the folks, and he had a lot of support about it. Looked like he had a 5-to-1 chance of winning it. So I don't know what took place there. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Said Joe Altman only got 17% and Jeremy Goodall got 28%. Like, it's funny that all of the straw polls, well, that just goes to show you, folks, that the people that are in office making the calls are not representing the people.
That's exactly what that says.
That's exactly what it says. So, I mean, how can we bitch about it any more than we've already bitched about it?
Right.
Let's bitch about it some more, though. Better get your ass to the voting polls. Like I said, I sure would like to see Custer County get up there and get at least like 70% turnout with a mail-in ballot. I mean, I know most of y'all that are listening are, it's not going to do any good to try to get you to hustle. I mean, I know most of the people that listen to our podcast are already,
they're committed.
Yeah, they probably already voted and everything anyhow, but it's like, really? That's a son of a bitch and mail-in ballot, and you can only get 40% of the people to turn it in. I mean, you talk about a bunch of lazy, worthless, rotten, spoiled, and who knows, maybe it's time for maybe it's time to shed the weak. I don't know.
Hard to say. It'd be nice to get a good strong force and turn Colorado red. There's a group of us working for that. I mean, we're putting our best foot forward for leadership and influence, and
well, and we're doing all we can. We're
well, we're inviting in some pretty good politicians to come.
we have a hell of a lineup.
Secured the school, you guys did, right?
Oh yeah, that part's easy.
And then you got what date is it? June 23rd? So yeah, we're bringing some politicians to introduce them. It's a meet and greet deal, so hopefully we can get the word out.
So Scott Bottoms for governor, David Wilson, Attorney General, Tim Bennett, CD7, Mark Baisley, U.S. Senate, Matt Alexander, HD60, Michelle Gray, HD60, Joan Poston, CU Regent. You got the 3 local, Taylor Lepresti for County Commissioner, Rich Smith as the sheriff, and Brad Balsley as the coroner.
That's a pretty good lineup. People that represent you.
Custer County School, west parking lot, says 4:30. I don't know why it's at 4:30.
When should it be?
People ain't even getting off work till 5:30. How the hell are they supposed to get here? But I don't know.
I mean, if it's gonna start then, I mean, what's that,
And
just
you're
kinda
only
meet and
giving
greet?
them 5 minutes is what I heard. You're only giving them 5 minutes, and there's 10 of them at 50 minutes, and it starts at 4:30. So it's going to be over before 5:30.
I don't know that the kickoff is gonna be at 4:30. That's kinda when people can start getting there
I don't know what the deal is.
and meeting, cause yeah, you'd think the kickoff wouldn't be till about 5:30.
I don't know why the people don't start speaking about 7 personally.
Yeah.
But I'm not the wheel behind that. I'm the I don't know what I am. I'm irritated. Is what I am. I can barely stand myself right now. I'm so irritated that I just.
Yeah.
If I could wreck something with the sledgehammer and it would help, I would tear the whole world down with that shit.
Found it out.
I'm upset, boys.
So yeah, there's gonna be, is it a silent auction that's going on?
Trying to be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, last I heard, we weren't supposed to say anything.
Oh, well, I shouldn't be saying anything, I guess. Well, it's not very many days away.
No, it's not.
No, we need to start letting people know about it. Without a doubt. Yeah, the valley definitely turned a little bit greener since that last rain. Boy, that's been nice. It's looking pretty bleak there for a minute. Yeah, that oil thing, boy, that's really something else. Goodness gracious. Dang it. I know it. So what's the other deal we were talking about this evening?
Something about the local chair. The state of the local GOP party. I mean, this party is. There's so much animosity even between the people that are supposedly on the same side that. I mean, I don't know really what to think. We've been trying to do our best to get this fundraising event going, but yet they don't. I mean, the general consensus seems to be that they don't think that we can raise any money, and they're afraid to give us any money to try to raise any money. So you're just going to set on what little bit of money you got, and when that runs out, then what? They're just going to go around and beg people, or I mean, I don't know what the hell the people are thinking, but we only got 7 people out of 19 to even return an email vote, and so. Basically, I mean, I'll just let the cat out of the bag here. I don't really give a flying shit here anymore. The CCRCC said they didn't want to sponsor it, so good enough. We'll sponsor it ourselves. America First Citizens. All the money will go to the candidates. All we're trying to do is get back. We're going to use a silent auction to try to get back the money that we use for advertising. So the CCRCC won't benefit. Well, they'll have it, from my understanding or my concept of how we're going to lay this out, they'll have a table along with the candidates that if somebody wants to donate to the CCRCC, they can. But I mean, I'm pretty disappointed. I've lost a lot of sleep, argued with a lot of people that are my friends over a bunch of bullshit that isn't even our problem here, folks. But yeah, I mean, so as the fundraising chairman, and the other big thing too, I mean, we've talked about this before. The GOP, the Republican Party in Colorado, in Custer County, has always been a Donnybrook. It's always been very few people involved, no accountability, no desire to improve anything. I mean, it seemed like all they really cared about was going and voting, and it seems pretty obvious that Custer County is, or I shouldn't say Custer, all the rest of these counties are kind of like Custer County, where, I mean, it's obvious that how the people, when we had a straw poll here at the CCRCC, like 20 some people voted for Joe Altman and one person voted for Jeremy. And we never even heard of these other people. And this other guy's going to beat out both of the candidates that we were voting for. I mean, so the Republican Party, and I'm not trying to talk bad about them. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just explaining the way that it is. They have been deficient in all aspects, and especially in the accounting, the accountability and the desire to keep the book straight. So our new, I mean, we're all supporting Stacy Kish here.
Absolutely.
To be the new treasurer, and she's already read through the 100-page tracer manual. She's taken over Taylor's tracer. They did that yesterday, I think.
Oh, good.
She's actually the registered agent to take care of that. But she's like, it's going to take 4 ledgers to keep track of this shit, because you got somebody that donates something, then you got somebody that does this or does that. And I mean, this is how complicated. And I mean, once I learned this, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, he was like, this ain't just cowboy mouth.
Well, it's bullshit is what it is.
Well, it kind of is.
I mean, everybody else can just rob us blind, but yet we got to try to play this way. And I mean, I'm not going to be a part of it and be the fundraising chair without doing it right.
You bet.
But so we were talking about having a chili cook-off. Well, to do the chili cook-off, the person that brings a pot of chili has to tell us how much that chili cost. And then what is the fair market value of the chili. And then you got to do a bunch of mathematical relationships and then calculate, well, this is what the actual, what's left over. And then you got to report all that shit to the state. And I'm like, boy, like, it really opened my eyes up to the fact that there's never been, and I'm not trying to talk bad about the previous people that have been doing it, right? I mean, everybody tries to do the best they can, but unless you have somebody like Stacy that digs into it and wants to understand what it is and how it works, like what is this creature? You just don't know. You just don't know what the hell's going on, and it's so complicated.
And when you start reading that stuff, she was reading last night.
She had a lot of papers this big. I'm like, man, it ain't.
It's 107 pages, that campaign.
That was just the tracer.
That's just tracer, yeah.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with campaign finance or any of that.
Right. Then there's a whole bunch of more stuff about when you get into how you raise the money.
how you raise the money, what
Tracking
you
it,
can
valuing
do,
it.
what you can't do, how donations are supposed to be accepted. One of the big problems, one of the big problems that we've had up here is that they're used to people putting the money in and then getting reimbursed. And that it's not necessarily legal, but it's about as left-footed, three left foots as you can get. It's just not proper at all. And the other thing too, one of the things that I really, let's see if I can find this. I thought that this was very well. She did a very good job explaining.
Yeah, she's got a pretty good head on her shoulder. She's definitely got an aptitude to help us really raise the bar in accounting and maybe just set the stage for the future of it as well. But educating the people, and I mean, there's a lot going on here. Education, education, education. But we're going to need some help on the fundraising. We're going to have not sure how much money it's going to cost to do was it a 45 square mile deal, Stephen?
No, it's way more than that. Well, I mean, it's not square mile, it's always on radius.
Radius.
But I mean, we're talking about Teller, part of Pueblo, all of Fremont, part of Chaffee, Custer. I mean, you're talking about 5 counties.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're hoping to get, I mean, I'd like to see 500 or more people show up.
Yeah.
But so, let's see. This is what she wrote me. She says, the tracer is more about all the types of groups, candidates, etc., and rules to follow. How to info, because I was asking her, what about the tracer? What did it take to get through the tracer stuff? The tracer is more about the groups, the types of groups or candidates, etc., and rules to follow. How to enter info into tracer versus the bank account, and how to organize. Really needs to have at least 2, if not 3 different books kept simultaneously. One is the bank ledger to be balanced to the bank statements. Mikey hung up on us there accidentally. Let's see. Oh boy. I need like. Yeah, buddy. Oh, let's see here. Let's see here. This is not like a 4 or 5 word explanation.
No, she gets in the nuts and bolts of stuff.
Okay, so you really need to have at least 2, if not 3 different books kept simultaneously. One is the bank ledger to be balanced to the bank statements. One for the committee itself to log all donation, expenditure, in-kind donations for food or silent auction, etc. And it is not recommended to have payments made by individuals to have committee pay it back. The bylaws need to be more specific regarding this area. There are no, because I asked her, I said, well, what's the hell's the specifics? And she said there's really no regulations, it's just recommendations. Talking about if they're going to pay people back for their expenses, they need to have a reimbursement policy, legal compliance, and best practices. That at a minimum. But it needs to be put in tracer 2 different ways. One is a line item to pay the person back, and the other line item to the actual store it was purchased from with the receipt. That is considered a loan. They've never done anything like that. That's what got us in all kind of hot water with Jack and the Lincoln Day deal for 2 years ago. They wanted reimbursed for thousands of dollars, but they didn't even have any receipts. And that's where this kind of goes on. The stronger issue is probably internal controls, not campaign finance law. If the chair's position is we don't have enough money, so members pay for the things personally and we'll reimburse them after the fundraiser, that's not necessarily illegal. However, auditors and governance experts generally dislike that model because, number one, committee spending occurs before committee approval. That means that people can just go spend the money how they want and then demand that they get paid back. And that's what created the big rift with Lisa and her trailer. Individuals can effectively decide what gets purchased. That's what we're talking about. The money gets spent how the individual seems like they want to spend it instead of having a committee. Number three, the committee becomes dependent on private financing. That's not how this is supposed to work. That's why I'm disappointed of the way that they're doing things at this point. They expect us to put up all our effort. You expect us to put up all our effort and then give the money to you? But yet you don't want to put up any money to start with. Because whoever did the fundraiser last time was a poor organizer and they spent all kinds of money. I mean, they were giving the high school students $100 a piece to serve the food. Like, that's the thing about a fundraiser. It's donation, which means you donate your time. Why didn't they go ask the young Republican high school students to serve this food to better the party, not to pay them? And that's why some of the, we've heard that part of the problem here is that people say, well, we're scared. We didn't make any money on the last fundraiser, so we don't have any faith in you. So we're not willing to turn loose of our little bit of money. We're going to save that for our bills. Like, what happens when you spend all the money for your bills and then you have none?
It's like eating your seed money.
It's like eating the seeds.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's not eating the money. It's like literally eating your seeds and then going, shit, what are we going to plant?
That money is the seed money.
Well, I'm talking about literally the seed.
Literally. Well, no, it is.
Like your potatoes. It'd be like eating your potato. The potatoes, you're eating a potato seed, and then when it's gone, you're like, well, geez.
Maybe I should have planted that.
Gosh, why don't somebody give me some? Give me what you got. Yeah. That's how this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
I'm too derelict to take care of my own stuff, so you give me yours. And we went round and round and round and round and round and round, and I mean, my voice is a hell of a lot louder than it is now, arguing with my friends and my friends and my people that I trust and that I like because we're on the same page, and I'm over here saying, I don't feel that I don't want to put on a fundraiser if the CCRCC is not willing to put money in. And we're not asking them to give every last dime they have. They have like $2,800, and we asked for $1,776 for to be patriotic here. And the only bills that they have is a $40 a month Rancher's Roost thing, and in October they'll have to pay the P.O. box and the storage unit. So they have plenty of money. So this whole mindset of, well, we don't have no faith in you, and I'm just like, well, you guys are dumber than shit. I mean, obviously, that sounds like a bunch of government libtard malarkey to me, right? Like, if you were a real red-blooded American and you had to hustle in this world, you would understand that you have to take care of yourself, which means it takes money to make money. And so you need to make sure that you don't waste your seed money, that you have more money to
plant
and to
plant and
fertilize
get a crop.
and harvest and all of
you
that
got to
stuff.
get another crop coming in, and that's what we were working on. We
worked-
had full expectation of being, under that umbrella and being fully endorsed and introducing people, that are running for the positions that are going to make policy in our life, and introduce them to the constituents here in Custer County.
Well, and how this all started, folks, was at the last CCRCC meeting, we had Tim Bennett, which I highly endorse Tim. I mean, I hope that as time goes on that I would get to know him a little bit better just here and there, even if it's only minutes at a time. I'm seriously impressed by this gentleman.
Amen.
I'm happy to have him. He's running against Brittany Peterson. This is actually U.S. House Representative. They are the 400 and whatever 35 people that represent us at the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C.
Pretty significant.
Pretty significant. Not and nothing to take anything from the smaller caliber candidates, but pretty good sized candidate.
Yeah.
And then we have the House District 60 candidates, which are Matt Alexander and Michelle Gray, right? That's House District 60, so they would write legislation to the state. They're only a state elected. They don't go to the federal level, right?
State affairs.
State affairs. And then we had a gentleman from, I think it was CD7 School Board. This Steve Barton, I think that's right. So these four people take their time, their hard-earned time. They're
working hard to get elected to represent us properly in the Republican Party.
And I mean, it costs a lot of money just to even get here. But we were all irritated, especially Harold. And Harold Frank is Ann nominated him, and he accepted to be the party building chair.
To build the Republican Party here in Custer County.
And he was kind of bewildered, but he went ahead and said, okay. And he's the one that's putting this deal together. I mean, he's got the governor candidate, the senator candidate, CD7 candidate. I mean, we were getting Senate District 4, but he's on vacation. We got the attorney generals. I mean, this is a kind of a big deal to get, and back to, so I don't get off track. We have all listened to these candidates speak at least 3 or 4 times. We heard them at the caucus. We heard them at the CCRCC meeting. Turned around, heard them at the assembly. Turned them around and heard them at another CCRCC meeting. So we've heard these people. Well, the problem is they're not getting in front of any new ears. It's the same thing. So it's like they're basically wasting their time to come up here and speak to the CCRCC because they're not speaking to anybody new, and the CCRCC has no wherewithal to try to even invite anybody new, which is completely ridiculous, right? We've talked about this so many times. Like, I mean, they have these huge email lists. I mean, you guys are more than willing to try to get a bunch of people to come to Liberty Rocks, but yet you can't use that list to invite them to the CCRCC. Regardless, these candidates, Harold was so disappointed of how many times they've spoken to the same people. That's why he's organized this event and called these people, and they are coming. They've already committed to be here. And now we're in the thralls with the CCRCC. They don't want to fund it. They want us to fund it and then pay us back. It's like, why would I do that? Like, Why would I do that? I mean, that's like a low-grade spouse, right? I'm not trying to say man or woman, like there's plenty of both. It's like a low-grade spouse that doesn't have a job and just mooches and mooches and mooches, and then is a total a-hole about it as well, right? Don't even have a personality to go with it. You're just demanding, overbearing, and total a-hole. That's how I feel with the CCRCC, the way that they're treating us with this fundraising event, especially me as the chair, right? We're sticking our neck out. We have this stuff. We have people that understand how to get people to these events. Harold's a good one. Stephen Robinson knows a lot about it. I mean, Jimmy and I, we did our fair share to even get people to come to the caucus. I mean, there was almost 100 people in the courtroom.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them wasn't able to vote, but I mean, we had a lot of people show up for stuff that nobody else has been showing up for in previous years. And so the reason Harold even wanted this event was to build the party. And I thought, well, that looks like a perfect place to couple a fundraiser to. Let's couple that together. We'll hit the CCRCC up for 1,776, the 250th year of our country.
Yeah, that's a huge
You
celebration.
talk about, in my opinion, a bunch of non-patriots in the Republican Central Committee at this point. Only 7 out of 19 people even returned their vote in, according to the chair. And of course, I get all kind of slack from my side saying, well, how do you know they even did this or did that or blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, for Christ's sakes, boy, I'm getting blasted on this side. And I'm getting blasted on this side by the chair. And I'm like, I've told you all before, and I will say it again very clearly, that I do not care what happens. I'm going to do my best to be cordial and respectful, but don't think for a second that I need anything from anyone, anytime, anywhere, because I don't. I can get her done by myself. And if I really get in a bind, I'll call the old man. Otherwise, I don't need it. I don't need the hassle. I don't need somebody bitching at me in my ear and bitching at me in this ear and nye, 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 nye.
There was a bunch of childish.
Boy,
it was something else.
I basically told them several times, if you all can't change your attitude a little bit, I'm out. I refuse to deal with the sourness of what has happened between these people. And Ann, I hate to say it, but maybe you don't realize it, but you have created a lot of this yourself. The fact that you didn't count the money at the Lincoln Day deal created more strife and more problems than you'll ever realize. And you and I have had some really good talks in the last few days. And I mean, you seem very supportive, and I don't doubt any of that. But at the end of the day, I know that you're part of the problem that exists and that caused a lot of this, regardless if you realize it or not. And I'm not trying to badmouth you, I'm just saying. And so she gave an olive branch, in my opinion. She said, well, I'll put the money up myself. And of course, boy, all I hear from my side is, well, she's trying to control you and she's trying to do this and she's trying. And I'm like, do you all the people that are on my side, you don't know me well enough yet to know that there isn't anybody that controls me? I'm still having to tell you that? Like, I mean, and that's what makes me so irritated is I'm listening to what's supposed to be my side of the army telling me, well, she's going to try to control you. Fuck you. Go to hell. I mean, you have no idea who you're dealing with here. You just don't. You don't know who I am or what I'm capable of. So don't ever think that you do, because you don't. And don't ever think that I care enough that you can leverage me, because you can't. I don't care. So anyhow, I mean, I've spent a lot of days cussing myself and listening to the bitching and back and forth. And sorry I'm cussing so much, but it's like, yeah, I know what Ann has done. I've been here the whole time. I've been talking about it for 2 years while everybody else is in their little fairy tale life. Why did we even start this up? To try to combat the Justice Center. Who's the main kingpin behind that? Ann Barthrup. We all know this. Jimmy and I know this. If you all don't, then that's on you. But to try to come at me and try to tell me that she's trying to manipulate me and that I'm compromised, boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You're barking up the wrong tree, folks. I'm over here just listening and repeating what she told me. And you think I believe it? I'm just trying to be truthful here. This is what she told me. And you think that I'm somehow compromised? That I'm going to get manipulated? Y'all are the ones that are manipulated because you think that about me. That just goes to show everybody everything of how shallow and petty people really are.
And I think some of the concern was how the money was coming directly from her as an individual. We didn't get approval from the CCRCC.
We haven't got approval yet, but what she did was she said, hey, I will front you the money, and then we will take it to a vote on the 11th when we have everybody in on a meeting where we can actually get their vote. And oh my God, you would have thought that I was trying to take people's firstborn child, their second and their thirdborn child. No, she's trying to manipulate you and she's lying. And I'm just like, oh my God.
And there's a lot of animosity.
So I drew the line. Right? Last night I finally drew the line because I told my folks, I says, and this is mainly us 4 PCPs, let's get this straight. I mean, I'm telling them, I'm saying, hey, if we use Stacy's protocol of how this is supposed to be, and that election is going to be on June 18th. Hopefully Stacy will get the treasurer's position.
That's a CCRCC election for the treasurer.
And PCP 2.
And a precinct person out of precinct 2. Yeah. 2 very, very important positions to be filled. And to keep going, get strong younger people in here that you know what I mean, that got talent. And Stacy's extremely talented. I think Kathy Lutz is the...
Well, yeah, Kathy Lutz is already the website. She's the designer, website person, and she's the communications chair.
Yeah.
So she had a vote on this too.
Yeah.
But I don't think that, I mean, I had, and don't hold me to it because it doesn't matter here nor there, but Ann, when we walked out of the meeting that we had with Stephen, Harold, and myself, she said, well, there's already 4 votes here. And I know Jimmy voted was 5. Taylor's vote went into his spam mail, so he might have missed it. And the other part, too, is we weren't prepared enough, right? So we have a pretty good presentation of how things went down, but we were so hurried, which we shouldn't have been, right? That's on us as the committee, the 4 PCPs, right? We should take that responsibility equally. We hurried too fast without giving a proper explanation of what the event was going to be. And we also rushed the vote. Harold thought it was important to get the vote out now and get it back now. And I mean, we only gave him like 36 hours. And then Ann shut the vote down. She only got 7 votes out of 19 people. and 5 of them said yes, and 2 of them said no, of the people that responded out of 7. So I mean, that's 12 people that didn't even turn their vote in, and these are people that, I mean, just like, I'm not trying to say anything bad here, but like Jason White, right? Jason White is the educational chair.
Yeah.
You talked to him personally. He said, I'm all about it. I talked to Brad Balsley. He said he was about it. He thinks that money is meant for candidates. I mean, you could talk to Lucas. You talked to Paul. But at the end of the day, we know that they didn't vote because there's no votes turned in. So either they're just bullshitting us, which whatever, right? I don't care. But as the fundraising chair, what I've done is I made the call last night. What we're going to do is put this event on for the candidates. And it don't have anything to do with the CCRCC. Y'all want to be sticks in the mud, then stick yourself. But you're not sticking me. You've already cost me all the grief that I'm willing to take. And Ann, I appreciate you saying that you'd put seed money, and Lisa, you did too, and I appreciate that. But
absolutely,
what you ladies don't understand is how it's supposed to go down, and I'm not holding that against you because the previous treasurer, right? I mean, they just don't have the capacity to understand what needs to happen like Stacy does. And I'm not taking anything from you. It's just, it is what it is. That's why Stacy needs to be the treasurer, because she understands this stuff. And it's nothing personal with her. It's all about facts. That's what you've heard me say many, 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 many times. All I care about is the numbers. I don't care about people's feelings. This is business. Business is numbers. Business is not feelings. Therefore, what we've done is we made a decision last night. I mean, not that I'm the chief in charge, but kind of, because I'm tasked with being the fundraising chair. So we went ahead and said, we're going to drop this as a fundraiser because we're not prepared to handle it. I damn sure don't want to try to write down an envelope for everybody that wants to bring a thing of chili. We were going to have a chili cook-off. And after we figure out the law, we have to figure out the cost of the chili and what it's going to make and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, how about no? Why would we put ourselves through all that to try to get a little bit of money to give to the CCRCC when they won't even help us? I'd have been all about it if they just said, yeah, here's the 1776. Sure hope you... I mean, we went as far as to say that we would pay that money back personally. But that didn't matter. Didn't matter. And it don't matter because we're going to do the event without you, CCRCC. And it's nothing against anybody, but it's not like, well, I'm trying to give you the cold shoulder. It's business. We can't do it properly. We don't have the tools in place to do what we need to do, and the committee won't support me. So we will just do it on our own, and that's what we're doing. We're hoping to have like 500 people come to this deal and listen to these candidates, and that was the whole idea behind it all. I explained to Ann, I said, Ann, this was never a fundraising event. This is a meet and greet to get the candidates in front of the people that they've never spoken to before, instead of the same 15, 20 people that they've already spoken to 4 or 5 times at the CCRCC meeting.
And Harold was able to ask those folks if they could get there. I guess the one kind of dictated the June 23rd.
Yep, Scott Bottoms that was his only day.
His only day.
I mean, so like Scott Bottoms, right? Some of these guys, it's not as big a deal, like Tim Bennett. Of course, our 3 guys are all running unopposed, but HD 60, Matt and Michelle, the primary is going to dictate who that candidate is. Same with the governor. right? Scott Bottoms is going to be running against Victor Marks. I mean, I heard a lot of good stuff about Victor Marks to start with, and then a lot of bad stuff in the end. And I, quite frankly, of course, we're not supposed to, we're not up here to endorse anyone.
Right.
But that's why we went ahead and because Victor Marks got invited. I gave you the list of the people that got invited. They all got invited. Every last single one of them got invited. But these are the only people that said that they would come. And Scott Bottoms for governor, that's who a lot of the people around here are supporting. Or some of them, I should say. I mean, I don't know how many people, but the whole idea of this, folks, is so that you can listen to the gentleman and see what he's really like face to face.
It's like somebody coming in for a job resume,
It is.
An interview, and here's and we need to be able to listen to them. Are they representing your beliefs and your convictions and what you want to see in the future? That's important. You need to know who you're voting for.
You can do a lot of research. You can do all kind of research online and do the best you can, but I can guarantee you from my own experience, after meeting Tim Bennett and shaking his hand multiple times and almost trying to break it, because that's what I do, right? Break or get broken. When I shook his hand and it popped right in Jimmy's ear like a 30-06.
Like, easy, Steven. Some of it ain't quite like you.
Well, it's like, that ain't my problem.
Yeah.
Not my problem, because there is people that are stronger than me and they're looking to crush my ass, and it ain't. No thank you, right? So that's why we have protocols and we act the way we act. It's so we can take care of our own business. But to meet him personally was
very impressive.
Impressive, to say the least.
Very, very impressive.
He has a list. We're only 30,000 votes away.
We can turn Colorado red this year if we can get some involvement. We are trying to get that involvement.
We're only 30,000 votes away from turning Colorado red. That's only a half of 1%. There's a little over 6 million people.
And we got an opportunity this year to absolutely turn Colorado red again.
So if the Republicans, that the registered Republicans, instead of showing up 4 out of 10, would show up 6 out of 10, we could easily get these libtards the hell out of our way. That's why we just keep harping. Why can't... It's a mail-in ballot, for crying in the night. I mean, you talk about, like... If you look at the mechanics of what that is, you talk about just a derelict of being a person. That's what that is.
We live in a great country, and the voting that's one thing you really need to exercise in order to...
And I get it, right? A lot of people don't think that it matters.
Well, no, and the complacency and voter fatigue is at an all-time high. But we got a chance here, folks. I don't know.
We got a chance, and that's why we are taking it upon ourselves as citizens, America First citizens, to have this event, even though the CCRCC doesn't want to support us. And I'm not saying that there isn't, this is not against any individual of the CCRCC. And maybe on the 11th, when I give my speech about how I'm disappointed because they can't even answer a frickin' email. The problem is that we're out of time. That meeting is on the 11th and the event's on the 23rd. We are already down to like 20 days or something. I mean, the days are short. Yeah. We don't have time to do all this stuff. So what we're planning on doing, we're going to have outside food trucks come in so people can get something to eat. We're going to have a silent auction to try to recover our costs for advertising, because we're going to try to advertise where I don't know. I'll have to talk to Mike to see what he had in mind. But I mean, when he was going to do Taylor's campaign, within 25 miles, we was going to reach 30,000 people. According to Facebook. That seems to me to be kind of, I find that hard to believe how that fits in that circle, but that's what it said. So I mean, we're talking about potentially 300,000-400,000 people that we're going to try to catch with this digital marketing, and if we can just get a 0.5%, is a lot of people.
Yeah, and like you said, knowing that number, there's not that much to switch this state. And if we can, and that's why we're aggressively marketing this and hoping that you folks would come in and listen to what these, the meet and greets about and hear what they got to say. And then please vote. And everybody you need to encourage them to vote.
So if a half of a percent, if a 0.5% see and actually open up and read the part, that's 1,500 people. If we could even get a third of that there, that's 500 people.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, that's significant.
It's significant.
Yeah. So we're going to throw in, and we're going to do the best we can. Hopefully you guys will support us.
It's a way bigger event than Custer County has ever seen. Ever. Nobody has ever taken the time or had the, I mean, I have to hand it to Harold on that, right?
Well, I'm telling you, he's on it.
Yeah, and he knows the people to call. If I had to do, I mean, I couldn't make it happen. I don't know the people. I mean,
well, and the thing is he's taken the incentive,
but he also has the skills.
And
so it's
you go.
It's a double whammy, right? We have incentive plus we got skills. And once again, not trying to take anything away from anybody in the past, but
we're raising a new standard.
We are raising the standard.
Yes.
Just like we did at the caucus, just like we've been telling you people since November. Hey, look, we're trying to teach you about this stuff. We're trying to teach you. I mean, I heard comments, they're asking us, well, why are you having it before the primary? Why don't you have it in front of the general election? And it's like, well, because your candidate won't get there unless you vote for him in the primary. So you're over here by the time you want to have a fun, whatever, meet and greet for the general election, your candidate's out.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that, you're not a very educated voter. And that's what we're trying to do here is get people to understand how we can get people in office that need to get in office to represent our better interest. And that's what I say. It's obvious. It's obvious what just happened at the chair election for the state Republican Party. How can all the straw polls put Joe Altman 5-1 against everybody else, and he only got 17% of the votes?
And that's the concentrated group of people from the CCRCCs through all the little counties.
This is the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary from 64 counties.
64 counties. It was 400 and some votes.
Yeah, which that don't add up. There's 64 counties. Times 3 is only 192, so I don't know what the deal is there. I heard there was 400 and some voting people, but I don't know. Let me finish what we started here with this, and then we can look up.
Yeah, then we can do a little research.
Okay, so number one, we're talking about what Stacy said. However, auditors and governance experts generally dislike that model, and we're talking about the model where the chair says, well, the committee, I'm not saying the chair, the committee says we don't have enough money, so members pay for things personally and then we'll reimburse them after the fundraiser. It's not necessarily illegal. However, auditors and governance experts generally dislike that model because committee spending occurs before committee approval. Individuals can effectively decide what gets purchased, and the committee becomes dependent on private financing. There is an increased risk of errors, misunderstandings, or misuse, and the public cannot easily determine the ultimate vendor from the tracer alone. A practical example, person one buys $850 of event supplies. The CCRCC has $50 in the bank. 2 weeks later, a fundraiser occurs. CCRCC reimburses person A for $850. The public filing might only show expenditure person A event supplies $850, but the more informative record would reveal that the vendors at Walmart, Costco, or Printer, etc., the date of obligation incurred, and whether the committee owed the person A money for a period of time, whether that advance constitutes an in-kind contribution or a loan. Also, the bylaws need to have the actions of how money is handled, paybacks, etc. The bylaws now have nothing the bylaws have nothing right now to actually protect the treasurer.
Well, and standard operating procedures are always in place. Number one, to protect and to give transparency.
Well,
and protect the person that's involved.
Because what as sorry of a state as it is, folks, it is the way that it is. People can't seem to do the right thing. They either don't have the capacity, they don't have the desire, or they're outright malicious. Well, I didn't know. Well, I don't care. Or, well, I'm trying to take it from you. That's why these procedures are in place. And that's why that's the main reason of what has already happened and created all the rift. And I'm not picking on you, but you and I had a very good talk here about how you want the party to get squared away and you're tired of all the bickering and everything, but dang it, girl, you're part of the problem here, because the procedure that you let happen is allowing this. And that means that you let people spend money and then demand payment back, and they don't even have any receipts. And then try to tell us, well, you can't look at those receipts. Yeah. That's what created the whole blow up. That's with Jack, myself, and of course Lisa, the whole 9 yards. That's where the whole party blew apart, was the Lincoln Day 2 years ago, of how this all happened. And with these procedures that Stacy is talking about, there would have never been any hard feelings, because we had to go through these certain channels that nobody's feelings get hurt. The committee has to approve the expenditure before the expenditure happens, not after.
Yeah, there has to be a strong understanding of, and this SOPs, and like she said, the bylaws are basically the SOPs here. So we have to rewrite those to make sure that we have a clear understanding of how the money's going to be handled.
Trying to rewrite the bylaws is, I mean, you're not technically supposed to even do that till the next year. So what about now?
Oh yeah, no. So
I mean,
so right now it's just
what it takes is the people.
Absolutely.
The people in charge. The people that are in charge. That's why I pulled the plug on it last night after a lot of arguing and a lot of bickering and a lot of finger pointing. And I told you straight up, I don't think that's not the way that I'm taking this. And at this point, it don't matter, because we're not even going to do it. If Ann wanted to put the money in and Stacy had a procedure for that money to go in and go through the right funnels, I thought it would have been fine. Everybody else thought that wasn't the way that it should go. They think we're going to get it taken advantage of somehow. And so we'll fix that. We'll fix that. It's no longer a fundraiser. And I have the authority to do that because I'm the fundraising chair. And it wasn't a fundraiser to start with. It's a meet and greet to meet the candidates, because these candidates have been spending a lot of time and a lot of effort to come to Custer County, and the CCRCC is not putting them in front of anybody. That's the problem here. The CCRCC is not doing their job. In any kind of...
And we're part of it. I mean, at the end of the day, being new PCPs, we're involved because we want to see things happen. We're not here to just willy-nilly,
We're not here to just bitch about it and then do nothing.
you gotta do
we're
it.
We're in a position where we can actually make something happen.
Make it happen.
And that's what we're going to do. It's going to be put on by America First citizens, right? I mean, we don't want to get in trouble and say we're Republicans, even though we are, because if you're not ordained by the Republican Party, then we can get in trouble. And that's what everybody's afraid of too. They're afraid that we're going to get in trouble with the powers that be. I mean, let's be quite frank. I'll lay it out right here for everybody right now, that everybody else is too sheepish or too scared or too whatever it is to explain it. They wanted a letter signed from Ann saying, Ann, that you support this no matter what, that we can use the CCRCC name. She said, I will not sign that letter. I'm going to give you money. All my side says, we won't do it unless you sign it because we're afraid you're going to sue us. And I get my ass ripped because they say, well, you don't have to tell her that. And I'm like, why wouldn't I? That's playing the same game that you accuse her of. The lack of transparency. You want her to sign something, but you won't tell her why you want her to sign it. If that isn't the biggest load of happy horse shit I've ever heard, I don't know what is.
Well, and I think the honesty and sincerity and the openness, we're in the public. We're helping the public. I mean, the public elected you, the public elected me to carry out and help build the party, strengthen the conservative values that Republicans carry. That's what the party's about. We happen to have some pretty big horsepower now in the party. We don't have complacent people that are PCPs now. We have aggressive, hardworking people that have a lot of talent. It's hard to bridle that. It's hard to bridle it, especially when you're this close to turning Colorado red, and we'd like to give it all. Push it, get it, let's get it done. And to be constrained in any fashion from anybody that's a Republican is I don't know. It was a sad deal.
And I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, these guys all feel like they're constrained, like Ann's trying to bridle them up. And I'm saying, Ann voted. You can't place it on Ann. It took a vote of the committee, and you only got 7 people to vote.
Yeah, no, you can't vote. You
can't blame it on Ann.
Not even a little bit.
And we about went to blows last night over it. It's Ann's fault. I'm like, I don't feel that it is. But I'm the only one that has been talking to her because, let's face it, I'm surprised that, I mean, after I'm supposedly threatening the commissioners.
Killer.
And being so mean to all the CCRCCs, I mean, I don't know why Ann feels that she can talk to me, but she doesn't seem to really answer back to the other PCPs very well. But every time that I've been trying to get a hold of her, she's been responsive and getting a hold of her, talking to me about what the deal is. And I'm not saying here nor there. I mean, I thought it was a very admirable thing to do for her to offer to put the money up.
Personally.
So that we could get going.
Yeah.
I mean, she would have liked to seen her money come back, which I understand that. But it's like, that wasn't where we were coming from. We have plenty of people that'll put the money up. But why should we put our money up just to give it to the CCRCC so they can be a bunch of lame ducks? Well, we didn't want to have a fundraiser because we don't have any faith in you to make the money turn around because they didn't do it last time. No, hell no. You spent 10 grand and you made 10 grand. You lost like $3. I can't remember what it is.
Nickel switching.
You can't expect. How are you going to have a fundraiser when you're paying high school students $100 a piece to serve the food? You paid the band. We can't figure out exactly what it was, or whether it was $1,200 or $1,100 or $2,200. Dawn got a check supposedly to pay for the band, and then the band got a check. And Stacy's tried 3 or 4 times to call this band back, and she can't get an answer. And it seems awful fishy. why did Dawn get any money back? And that's the whole problem here of why the problem here is people putting the money up. There's no accountability, and there's no committee to say how the money's spent. But we got throttled back and beat down. Well, we're afraid you're going to lose all the money, and we got to pay our PO box. And it doesn't make any sense, because the bill thing that she laid out is completely doesn't make any sense. Stacy's all over that like a big blanket. And I mean, she's trying not to be too overwhelming. And I'm telling her, I'm saying, Stace, you're right on it, but you're just going to blow these people to dust, right? I mean, you need to. We are trying to build a stronger party here, which means everybody needs to kind of understand the steps and the procedures of what we're doing to do this.
And that's that education thing that Jason White's involved in. And I think he was talking, I met with him at the pizza place the other night, and I think we've recognized that there is a void of knowledge. And especially when you get involved and you're an officer, there's a lot to know. The leadership has to be strong, and it's got to be knowledgeable. And Stacy's bringing that.
And one of the worst things that you can do is think that you know when you don't. That's why I've gotten after the girls before. I mean, I've said a lot of pretty rude stuff, but I meant it because I had a reason to say that. It wasn't nothing personally. It's the way that you act in the position that you're in.
Yeah. You have a duty. And it's called a duty for a reason.
And to them, it's not a duty, right? Not to be,
I know,
not to be mean here, but these older ladies have this concept that they don't have to listen to anybody else. We're already an old lady. We know what's best. Shit, you don't know nothing.
Well, they're volunteers. And anyways,
it's an unpaid position, but yet it's not strictly volunteer because it's elected. You're elected, but yet you're non-paid. So the whole term volunteer doesn't really fit. You're not a volunteer at all. You're elected. You're just not getting paid.
There's an obligation.
There's an obligation.
A duty, and you got to be upright. And you need to be able to perform your job. And if you're inadequate to do it, the first thing you should do is get out. You should admit, hey, no,
and
things are too complicated. I can't do it. Or at least get some assistance from somebody, Lenny.
Well, and that's one of the main problems that's going on in this whole world. I remember a long time ago, a friend of mine, he was getting into the house building business, and we was pretty young, and it was only like 19, 20, 21, and he said, boy, the last thing you ever want to do is admit that you don't know something around these people, because they'll just shred your ass. And that mentality is what goes on every day. That's where the whole fake it till you make it. And that's what we've bred into society. It's not a professional thing to do on most levels to say, well, I'm not sure what to do here.
I mean, and pride comes before a fall, and humility brings honor. We've dug down deep. We've educated ourselves extreme. I mean, we've got some good help from a lot of good, smart people. And it's a good, strong party that's forming. And I'm seeing it's going to be a good thing. We got to keep it together. We got to boldly go forward and keep getting results. Keep getting results. And along the way, we're learning and growing and getting stronger and stronger. And the Republican Party's bringing out those people that do fill those qualifications. They're qualified. And that's the deal. They have that knowledge. And if they don't have it, they can teach themselves and find it. This AI thing is just unbelievable.
Well, and that's back to ignorance is one thing, but when you couple ignorance with arrogance, that's when the problems start. If you don't know, that's the innocence of the child within. If you honestly don't know, hey, there's always that first time that I didn't know better. but I know better now.
Burnt hand's the best teacher. But here the thing is, when you get in the public realm and you're interceding on the behalf of the public, you have a duty, man, to be severely responsible and above board. And that's what I think the standard's being raised now. I think we've got that quality of people that are coming in, and I really want to see some of you guys come back to the party. We want to be that strong party. We haven't given up. We're not giving up. The conservative values need to be installed in all the policies that are being made. That's a must. The crazy stuff that we've gone through, and we're still going through, the policies, and the little boy can go in the girl's bath. I mean, the weirdness, the sports thing. I mean, all of this stuff.
Well, they're still doing it. They're still voting. They're still voting to be able to have sex change when you're under 18. Man, when you're over 18, if you want to take an axe and whack your thing off, that's your business.
Illegal immigration. I mean, the amount of money that's been wasted, that it could have went to the veterans, or it could have went to schools, or it could have went to a lot of different things. We've got to get that gone. And listening to some of these guys that we've listened to, I think they bring that. They're very well aware of the challenges. So we're encouraging you folks to come out and listen to them. Maybe they can win your vote.
And that's why it goes back to the Joe Altman deal too, right? We can't fight them with a paper sword. That's why I'm asking you, all of you right now, on June 23rd, to come in and support these candidates. Do whatever you can. Put a 20 in there. Put a 50 in there. I mean, do you talk about a huge pain in the ass? I know it is, but it is what it is. You'll have to write your name on an envelope, and you got to put your occupation and blah, blah, blah.
But that's the law.
You talk about a line load of blah, 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 yet while the Democrats are robbing us blind. But it is what it is. This is the path that we have to take to get where we want to go. So there's 10 candidates in there. We're asking that you support the CCRCC as well. I know that a lot of people have a pretty hard time supporting that, but we're hoping that with the change of the guard, in particular the treasurer, that the money thing will begin to change. And it's not putting anything on anybody else. It's just I can honestly say that they didn't know better. They had no idea of what Stacy has uncovered and what she's learned in the last 3 weeks preparing to try to be the treasurer. She literally had a stack of papers this big last night, and I'm thinking to myself, is it wintertime? We got to start the fire or what? I'm like,
fire starter?
Man,
No, she's on it. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Harold Franks, we've really got to give him some credit for what's going on here. He's another ambitious person. He's seen socialism. He appreciates this country. Some of us might take it a little bit less than he does. But
well, of course we do, because we're whatever I said about why you won't vote. You're fat, you're worthless, you're spoiled, you're complacent, you're arrogant, you're all of them things, because you're an American. And
what's that now?
Got plenty.
Anyways, we all pulling on the same rope here. We need to keep rowing the same boat. I don't care we're on the same team, but we've got to show up. We have to show up. Every individual that has the ability to fill out a ballot needs to fill it out and needs to get rolling in the right direction. We have one shot. We got one shot to make this happen.
And that's why it's important. This is the precursor to filling your ballot out, so you can understand who you're voting for, so you can pick the best candidate, So you just don't go, well, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, what was
'Cause
this guy's
let's face the facts, folks.
serious?
In the society that we're in, it's just a small group of people that are educated enough to actually vote. It's just the fact of the matter. And that's what we're trying to do here, is raise this education level up so we can get candidates in there that actually represent us.
That's one of the things too. There's another tool that's been invented, created here in Custer County, and that's the Chronicle.
The Chronicle is almost online. Our editor had to go out of town for work, but that should be up in the next. I mean, we got a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff to do for this other event, but he told me that he had the rough draft. He was going through that one more time, and that he would send that to us to
Kind of finalize
to see if we had any other changes.
Okay.
And then the Chronicle will be ready to go. I mean, it is what it is. I wish we could have got it going a few weeks earlier. There's a lot of information that needs to get out to people right away. But, you know, we can only do what we can do. And you know, Kevin Lawman is the editor of the Chronicle. And he's pretty particular about how he wants things done. And that's what we need. We need procedure. We need things to be done properly so that you get the results you want. You can't start off haphazard. Excuse me. We've all heard it a million times. You can't build a house on a crooked foundation and expect the roof to be square. It is what it is. It has to be square all the way through to the top. That's like math. That's how that works. There's no emotion involved.
It's just calculated.
Pure numbers.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, right? I don't want to be involved with emotions. I already have my emotions are already all that I can handle as it is, right? I try to keep everything as mathematically generated as I can so that I don't have to worry about getting upset because I didn't get along with the way that somebody done something because it's not done right. If you have protocols in place, then you can get results, and you have efficiency, and you have all the things that make America great. Made man the civilization that man is. That's what got us here. It's not dyeing your hair pink and blue and trying to get a sex change surgery.
Or spiking a girl in the face with a volleyball because you're confused. Unbelievable. Anyways, we got a battle on our hands, so hopefully you folks will show up and support.
June 23rd.
And your money is going to go directly to the candidate of your choice, whoever you're supporting, right?
Correct.
It doesn't pass through the CCRCC, none of that. It goes directly.
Well, and it doesn't pass through us either.
It doesn't go through us.
The CCRCC will have their own table to accept donations to the CCRCC. Like I said, I hope you do donate to that. We're hoping that the guard has changed. I mean, I know everybody's kind of leery, but this is just the easiest way for them. Then that way, the candidates, they have their own tracer account. They have their own people to take care of their own donations. And all we're trying to do is have a silent auction to defray the costs.
Advertisement mostly. Huh?
Well, and whatever it, I mean, there's going to be some.
Oh yeah,
we're hoping,
there's some administrative stuff there too.
Well, and we're
right?
hoping to maybe get not too much administrative stuff, but we're hoping to maybe have like some 250th memorabilia.
Oh yeah, the 250th anniversary of our country. So we
and
got another 250 years to go. That we're the stewards of our country now.
And we're planning on the money that we make extra from what hopefully we break even. If not, no big deal, because I mean we feel that it's a pretty noteworthy cause. And I won't say that I won't vote to give it to the CCRCC, but I'm pretty reluctant to give any money to the CCRCC from whatever we get that's extra because of their lack to support us. I would rather give it to the candidates that we know that hopefully can make a difference. Tim Bennett, he needs a lot of money to try to run against Brittany Peterson. Last I heard, she already had like $1.2 million in her account, and he's about down on fumes.
Yeah. So that's the name of the game. They're playing to win, and we need to be playing to win. We've got to put our money where our mouth is. If we don't make a stand, we only got ourselves to blame here. We've got prudent people standing up and saying, "Hey, I'm willing to be your representative. I'm willing to install your values and policies and procedures." And that's what it comes down to. It's just that simple. And we've got to make Colorado red. There's no way we're going to, I mean, I don't know, we're $2 billion upside down or something. And it's crazy because we should have abundance. It's a rich state.
Well, and that's, I mean, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's just like the wolves. However many wolves they've turned out, I forget what it was. I read this a while back. I mean, they've already paid out like $750,000
to reimburse the farmers and the ranchers. Yeah, and they didn't put nearly enough money aside for that. And it destroyed some of the ranchers. I mean,
well, then it's like all just because there's a reason why we eradicated wolves, because they are an enemy.
They
right?
eat our food.
They will eat your kid.
They eat your kid too. Yeah.
I mean,
they eat your dog.
Well, yeah. I mean, the pets is like no other. I've been saying it for a long time. You wait till one of these wolves eats one of these little kids. That'll get your attention. Oh, they're so pretty, and oh, like, man. I mean, suicidal empathy, folks, is what that's called.
Yeah.
It's the same reason as letting a Muslim in here. They want you dead, but you think it's fine. Oh, we got to take care of them. They're having a bad time. All they're doing is playing a game to try to get in where they can cut your throat. Dummy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But so we got a chance.
We got a chance. June 23rd, folks. We'll have a couple more podcasts till then. Please come to the CCRCC meeting on June 11th, and then the special election will be on June 18th. We encourage everybody to come to this CCRCC meeting to try to. I mean, that's what it's about. Yeah, the guard that's on duty doesn't really want anybody there. I think just because they're so shallow mentally that they can't really handle it personally. They don't
want to be challenged, maybe.
I just don't think that they have enough capacity to really get to a bigger group, right?
Right.
I
mean, if you're weak,
I don't know that it's necessarily anything that's super sinister, because that's back to that same thing that I've been saying for a long time. And, we argued quite a bit over this deal about, I'm not just pointing at Jimmy, but one side says that they think that they're sinister, and I'm not saying that they're not, but as time goes on, I'm determining that they're not nearly as advanced mentally as we think they are. Yeah, they might have a poke out here or a poke out here that makes them look like they're pretty smart, but at the end of the day, they're not. And we can tell that by the way that they operate.
I guess, Stephen, I think the courthouse, the Justice Center was the biggest wiggle in all of it. And then that one fundraising event, that kind of gave some suspicion. And it took root, and then it grew into something that was outrageous.
We know, regardless of the fact about counting the money, we know that they didn't follow the protocol of voting on how the money was spent. They spent the money on what they thought was important and then demanded a reimbursement without receipts.
Yep.
And then get all butthurt because you want to look at the receipt. Yeah. It's like, this is not the old lady club anymore. This is not the way that we were doing this 20 years ago. That's all changed.
Yeah. We
demand accountability. We need reliability.
Well, we need to restore the confidence in the people that are leading the party to the people. We need that. We need the transparency, the uprightness. We need to lead by example and draw people in, saying we do have common values that we share. Not only that, but we're also running this organization very upright and transparent.
And that's why I'm shifting all that into second gear with the whole word of reliability. Reliability means that you've already been through it enough that you can do it again without a hitch.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
But we've made it through. We're coming on through. We're definitely steel sharpens steel. I'm going to say that.
After I have to yell at everyone.
Well, you got plenty of yelling that too, so.
And I feel bad about it, but it is what it is. It's like, and I'm not trying to, I'm just, mostly it was questions. Why do you think that this is the case? I want to know what you think of why you think this is the case. And so we converse back and forth till we kind of get to a position where we feel like we have a legitimate answer. And that's why the answer was, I mean, these guys are so scared that Ann's going to try to manipulate me.
Well, I don't know they're going to manipulate. That ain't going to happen.
Well, that's not what the meeting was last night. Oh, they're going to use you. Good luck with that. You ain't using me, folks. Only way you can use me is if I let you. But no, regardless, I think we've come to a solution. We're not trying to cut the CCRCC out of this. It's just the timing, the lack of involvement from the committee. All of these things don't add up. The bookkeeping involved, all of these things have turned my thought process to say, hey, look, let's just try to get as many people here as we can.
Focus on the mission.
And get these candidates in front of them.
Absolutely. Focus on the mission, and that's kind of what we agreed with. Let's focus on the mission. Whatever umbrella it's under, let's get the mission accomplished. And I think I really take my hat off to the people that I'm involved with in this. Absolutely strong, committed, high energy, good, solid people. So I'm proud to be part of it. Absolutely proud of it.
It's going to be the coolest thing that's ever happened up here as far as any kind of political.
And Steve, I don't know if we could put a plug in. You were talking
about... for the fireworks.
Yeah.
Mortar Man.
You got to do the Mortar Man. But one of the other things I was going to mention is if somebody has something that, they wanted to maybe introduce to the silent auction to try to defray some of the advertisement expenses and whatever the other expenses may be.
We're looking for donations, right, for a silent auction. I mean, if you have a business in town, if you'd like to donate a dinner for two, or if you have pizza deal. I mean, if you have an excavation company, maybe donate
a load of gravel or something.
A load of gravel, or whatever that you feel is a reasonable. We're not asking some people to throw out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars here, right? We're just asking. We're estimating it's probably, by the time we get done with putting some memorabilia together, we probably need 2,500.
Yeah.
And 1776 was basically our advertising budget to start with. We thought we could reach the people enough times in all these counties, the best that we could, way easier than you can. We're also doing a press release, so all of the newspapers, right, we're not buying ads. We're having a press release, so they'll write an article, right? Instead of trying to spend money, we're trying to get people to donate their wherewithal to make this a successful event. So if you have
we've got some rental things around here too, bike rentals. There's pies that could be. There's a lot of different things.
Sorry, I need to respond. This is part of the business of it.
Yeah, this has been quite a bit of time. And it's going to be a lot more time, but it's good because we really need to get a good push to turn the vote out, to get people to vote. And it's very, very serious. If there's ever a serious time to vote, if ever a time to step up and vote, it is now.
So I'm gonna put these numbers out there for you folks. I mean, if you have any desire to help, right? If you'd like to come help us set up for the event, we're going to try to set up the day before the 22nd. I think the school said they have 200 and some chairs. I sure hope that we need more than that. I don't know. Maybe we might have to get some from a church or two. I'd rather have to set up too many chairs and then take them back down than I would be people having to stand.
Yeah.
I'd like people to enjoy it and be where they'd say, boy, them guys, they did as good a job as they could have done. And I would do that again instead of saying, oh, I'm never going to do that again.
Right. And we want it to turn out right. And that's the key. We're putting wholeheartedly going forward with this event. And the key here is to get people voting and contributing to people that are going to represent you. That's an important thing. That's the whole key here. That's the whole.
So I'm gonna give these numbers out. I will say that if you do want to reach out to Stephen Robinson, you might. They're going to be out of town 8 or 10 days, going to DC with their business. So he's going to be hard to get a hold of. I'll give you his number anyhow. But our 4 PCP numbers are. What's yours? 0103? Is that right?
March 13th, 0313. Is that what you said?
0313. No, I had it wrong. 0313. 0313. Okay, so Harold's number 719-371-1570. 371-1570. Stephen Robinson 303-579-3370. That's 303-579-3370. Right? Will Michael get us going, get us on the replay on YouTube so you can get up pretty quick. I think these numbers should be on the website. Don't hold me to that. I mean, we're a little bit. It's not with Kathy, but it's just the whole atmosphere of the CCRCC and the website, right? It's lacking in information. So hopefully these numbers are on the website as well. Jimmy's number is a landline at 719-783-0313. 719-783-0313.
Leave a message.
And of course, my number 719-371-0233. 719-371-0233. Please call us. I mean, of course, you can always. It's redcountybluenation@gmail.com. I mean, we'd appreciate if anybody would like to help set the chairs up. I mean, it's going to take quite a little bit to try to get this. You know, if it was only 100 people, it wouldn't be no big deal. But, you know, if we're going to try to get 500 people to come into Westcliff, I mean, that's going to be a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And I'm just shooting from the hip. I have no idea. I mean, that's just, like I said, if we're advertising to 300,000 people, you get 0.5%, and then another third of that half that actually come would be 500 people. So, once again, like Jimmy said, if you have something that you want to help, number one is come to the event early. There'll be tables. I mean, this is the way that I am envisioning it, and I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that the doors might open about 4:30 or something. You can cruise around the tables. You can talk with the candidates beforehand, and then maybe 6:30, something like that. Between 6 and 7, then they'll start to speak. I'd like to see them be able to speak at least 10 minutes, personally. I mean, it's 5 minutes, in my opinion, is not enough. I mean, then you got to research your speech and try to, I mean, like Tim Bennett, right? When we're listening to him, he just has so much information that why would you
could
want
listen to him for an hour?
Yeah, why would you want to
And it'd
cut
go
him?
by
Yeah,
like
why
10
would you want to
minutes.
cut him short? You know?
Yeah. Well, here again, it's got to be realistic. Some of the local guys don't need to take up a lot of time. I mean, a lot of them aren't. You know, it's good that they can say, this is how the job I've done, or this is what the job I'm going to be doing. I think Taylor owes it to the community to kind of introduce himself even
Yep.
more so.
Yep. he's the less known one because he's a
Newcomer.
newcomer, not an incumbent, right?
Yep.
I think that's
Yep.
the proper terminology
Yep,
there.
he'll be taking Bill Canda's place.
Yep, and of course, you know, that's due to the term limit, right?
Yep, Bill's termed out. He's got his 8 years in.
So with that being said, folks, looks like we're going to be on for the fireworks. I mean, it's still just we're doing the fireworks one way or another. I just don't know exactly how it's going to go down. But we're doing fireworks. There ain't no way you're going to stop me from doing fireworks for the 250th year of this country.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we have to have every fire truck out there loaded with water, and you know, I know them guys. It's a little bit of a burden for them to take off on their, you know, to take their 4th of July off, but we do as well, right? I don't get paid anything to do the mortar men, and I spent a lot of time. Even you have no idea how much time that takes, and the amount of research and the amount of cat herding and all of the stuff that it takes to try to make that happen, right? Keeping track with the fire marshal, keeping track with the sheriff, and keeping track with the community, and well, we don't want it here because of this, and you know, everybody's, if you gave them $1 million, they're going to bitch at you because it was all in ones, right? I mean, that's just the way people are. But with that being said, I'm not sure that the fire donation boxes are out. We rely on bigger donations, so I mean, let's face it, folks. I mean, we've been putting on a heck of a show. We've had a lot of compliments say them shows are as good as they've seen. A lot of people saying anywhere, even New York City. I mean, I don't know about all that because I can't really see them. I'm watching that I don't
You're paying attention. You don't blow your hand off.
Yeah, or my face or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want a good thing to go bad.
No.
So I mean, you know, if you could afford $100, I mean, that would really be good. If 200 or 300 people had put $100 in there, we'd have something that would be maybe the only way to rival it was in 25 years from now for the 275th. I'd like to think we can make it to the 300th, but that'd put me at 101 years old. So,
Well, you never know.
never know.
You never know.
But anyhow, it's the Mortar Men, the THE Mortar Men on Facebook, right? You can donate right there. Of course, it's tax deductible. I mean, we do have to fill the form out for you and give you the form, but I mean, if you make it, I forget what the size donation is of where the cutoff is. I mean, $30, $40 or whatever, that's not worth it. But I mean, I think like if you donate $250 or more, we'll write you a tax
write-off.
and some people don't care about it, so you kind of got to be a little persistent to Brian or myself or Josh too. I mean, I try to just keep track of the people that I'm doing it with or that I bring into the fold. I mean, quite honestly, I'm not nearly as good a fundraiser as them guys, but I don't serve the public like they do either.
Right, absolutely.
So once again, it's the Mortar Men on Facebook. We need your support. We did very well last year. We still have some funds from last year, which is good. We got a matching donation from the Chamber of Commerce because we've been a nonprofit for over 3 years.
Yeah, no, you guys are doing great.
Yeah, so I mean, we're this is going to be our fourth.
Here again, it's young men in the community taking the reins.
What other people want, right? Why is it that three local independent guys will do what the fire department won't do? And nothing against them guys. It's just, I mean, I know they had liability and they had their own reasons, but it's like, I'm happy to do it. It's a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge celebration, especially 250.
yeah, it's big time, folks. So
We'll keep you guys up to date. Next week's podcast, we may have some up-to-date news on how this event is progressing. So,
yep,
yeah,
sounds good.
awesome.
We about got you for 2 hours. I'm sure you're about wore out, folks. So
Has it been that long? Went by pretty fast. Yeah, keep praying for the rain. We need rain. Very important.
So with that being said, we wish you a good evening and see you next week.